Today I am back with new update on TR to PR pathway. Today's agenda is how can you add or replace documents in your application, IRCC's response to mistakes in application, which kind of mistakes can lead you towards application refusal, when can you use IRCC's web form for TR to PR pathway, what is the processing time, how can you withdraw the application if you want to, and which documents are required for your dependents. If you are interested, stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to Canadian Charisma. Hope you all doing great and staying safe. If you are new here, I provide information and free advice about Canadian immigration and help people to apply for Canada PR, which can save them a lot of money. Without a further delay, let's start today's video. Let's start with how can you add or replace documents in your application. If you want to send additional documents to add or replace any document in your already submitted application under TR to PR pathway, the IRCC said, please note that we do not accept any documents via the IRCC web form for TR to PR pathway. The requirement was to submit a complete electronic application in the dedicated online intake portal as indicated in the public policies and the instruction guide. While all supporting documents must be included at the time of application, the processing officer may contact you to request missing or additional documents which are non-mandatory at a later date if required. In such a case, the office will provide you with instructions on how to submit these documents using your IRCC secure account. Please do not send documentation unless specified requested by a processing officer. So IRCC is not accepting any document through IRCC web form for TR to PR pathway. Next is what is IRCC's response to mistakes happened in applications. If you made any mistake in your application, IRCC response will be according to what type of mistake you made. If a mistake has happened in non-mandatory documents or in mandatory documents. If a mistake has happened in non-mandatory documents, IRCC officer will assess your application and request you needed documents or more explanation, and they will provide you all instructions to submit that document using IRCC's secure account. If a mistake has happened in mandatory field, IRCC said if one of the mandatory document was not submitted in your online application, your application is likely to be refused. So if you made any mistake in the mandatory field, there are more chances to get your application refused. You should be getting ready a complete package with all the required documents to submit again if you get a chance for it. Let's have a look on mandatory documents. First one is proof of current employment in Canada included in Guide 5069. A valid language test result to prove your ability to apply for the TR to PR pathway. A complete Schedule 3 IMM 0130 temporary resident to permanent resident pathway streams A and B and international graduates. And if you applied for the international graduate stream, a proof of completed study in Canada. And if you applied for the workers in Canada streams, healthcare, essential, non-healthcare, a proof of your work experience in Canada. To have a detailed look about these documents, I am in Guide 5069. I know you know where it is, but even though I will leave the link in the description for it. So first important document is the proof of current employment in Canada. Your current employment can be in any job that exists in the National Occupational Classification. It is not required in Annex A or Annex B. To prove your current employment, you need a copy of your work permit in Canada if applicable and an employer reference letter from your current employer. The letter must include location of work, specific period of your employment to and from dates, description of your main responsibilities and duties, your total annual salary and benefits, the number of hours you work per week, your employer's name, signature, full address, telephone number and email address if applicable. You must also include your most recent pay stubs. So you need to put most recent pay stub, at least recent 2 pay stub with this. The second one is proof of language proficiency. When you apply, you will need to prove that you meet or exceed the minimum language requirement for your stream, and your language result must be less than 2-year old when you apply. The third document is Schedule 3 IMM 0130 form, which you need to submit for Tier to Peer pathway. So I already told in my previous video that how to fill out this form, but again I got some question that if I have more than 3 work experiences here, what can I do? So in that case, just make another copy of this form, fill in the first question here, your name and your ID number and date of birth, and then fill this section 5's B part here, and then you can print this form out. On the top of the page here, write your name again and question 5B or section 5B, just write with pen, and then you can signature at the bottom here, scan it and upload it. If you applied through international graduate stream, then proof of completed study in Canada is one of the mandatory documents. To prove that, you must provide a final transcript and a letter from the institution and or the formal notice of graduation. You must provide proof that shows the type of credential granted. It was degree, diploma, certificate or attestation, the length in weeks, month or year of the program of study, that you were authorized to study for the duration of study, means you need to submit your study permit, the date of completion, the name of the school that granted the degree, diploma, certificate or attestation. If you applied through stream healthcare or non-healthcare essential worker, then you need to provide the proof of your work experience. For that, you need to provide a copy of your work permit in Canada if applicable, and employer's reference letter for the period of work experience identified in your application. The letter must include, must means you have to, the must include location of work, specific period of your employment to and from dates, description of your main responsibilities and duties in your NOC code, your total annual salary and benefits, the number of your hours you worked per week, your employer's name, signature, full address, telephone number and email address if applicable. You must also include copies of your T4 information slips and your notice of assessment if applicable, or work contracts or pay stubs. So you can submit one of them, or if you want to submit 2 of them, it's fine, not a problem. Next question is, when can you use IRCC web form for Tier to Peer pathway? If you need to report any important changes about your application before you received your AOR or application number, you can contact IRCC by filling out the IRCC web form. You can only use IRCC web form if you need to report important changes to your situation, such as birth or death in your family, marriage or divorce, adoption, change of address. You can also use IRCC change of address service to report the change of address. So if you go on IRCC's web form, I will leave the link for this one in the description too. You go here and type of application we need to choose permanent residence applied online, but when you select here, there is no Tier to Peer pathway. You can select express entry here. Write that you are applied through Tier to Peer pathway and you need to submit important information which got changed after you submitted your application, and then here you can do your first name, your family name, your given name, your email address, date of birth, country of birth, your ID number, telephone number, mobile number, and fill this information and say agree, click next and submit this web form here. Next one is change of address. If you wanna go here, just I will leave the link for this web form in the description too. You can go here and follow the instructions, click on continue, and here are the terms and conditions. Click on that and continue. Fill this information that identification number, like you have client ID number if you have, and then your ID number here. Again fill this information and it will ask you another question. Follow the instruction and you can report your change of address with this form too. But if you wanna go with IRCC web form, it's fine. You can also report your change of address through IRCC web form. Next question is, what is the processing time for tier to peer pathway applications? For this guide, IRCC hasn't declared any estimates on how long it will take to review the applications. If your application is completed, they will send you an acknowledgement of receipt AOR by email that will provide you with your IRCC application number. Once you receive your application number, you can link your application to check the status of your application using your IRCC secure account. Next is, how can you withdraw the application? If you wish to withdraw your application, you will need to request a refund. Depending on where your application is in the processing stage, you may be eligible to receive some or all of your payment back. If your application hasn't been processed, you may be eligible to get a full refund. If processing has started and you have received an acknowledgement of receipt AOR, you may not be eligible to get a processing fee, but you will only get the rest of the refund payment. Here I am on IRCC's Ask for Refund webpage. I will leave the link for this webpage in the description. You may get asked for some personal information to make sure that you are eligible. How you ask for refund depends on how you paid. If you have already applied, what you applied for. If they have already started processing on your application, you won't get all your fees back. It could take up to 8 weeks to review your request and issue your refund. To request a refund, you need to answer some questions. So first one is, what did you apply for? So you need to choose here immigration, citizenship and Canadian travel documents. How did you apply? Online. Have you paid your fees? Using which method? So there are two methods. You need to choose which one you use to pay your fees. You paid directly within the online application or you paid by IRCC payment services. Choose your method. So I will choose this method here, which will lead you towards more information. So here you can find the information that if you withdraw your application or they refuse your application before they start processing your application, you will get full refund. But if your application get refused or you withdraw after they start your processing on your application, then you will get some fees, means you will not get your processing fees back. You will get only your right of lending fees and your biometric fees. Your refund can take between 2 to 8 weeks to appear in your account, and here you can follow the instructions of how you can make a request. It could be different between both the methods. So which method you choose, follow the instructions and you can make a refund request, or I can say you can withdraw your application. I recommend you only withdraw your application if you think there is any misrepresentation, because misrepresentation can bar you for 5 years. If you think your application is not completed and you can withdraw it, your refund request can take a long time to review, and meanwhile if the IRCC officer finds that your application is not completed, your application will be refused automatically. But still there is a chance, because it depends on an officer to officer how or she will treat that incompleteness. Next is the most asked question, that what documents are required for family members or dependents if they are not accompanying you to Canada. So for that, just log in your account, and once you select here married and you have children, you can go down and see you will get separate document checklist for your spouse and for your children. So here you can see for your spouse you need background declaration IMM 5669 form, copy of passport, additional family information form IMM 5406, medical, PCC and digital photos. If you look at the document checklist of children, you can see same, you need passport, medical, copy of birth certificate to prove your relationship with children, digital photos. And if your children are 18 years or old, you need these forms for them separate for each kid. Except for PCC, you must submit these all documents even if your dependents are accompanying you to Canada or not. Means if you are applying for their PR or not, you need to submit these all documents except for PCC. If you cannot get any of these documents due to the current situation in some countries, you can write an explanation letter and upload in dedicated intake portal. Like if you cannot get any medical exam right now, you can just write the situation, just write an explanation letter and upload in this add file here. If you cannot get your PCC, or if you are not applying for your dependent, you can write an explanation letter accordingly and just upload it here in the add file. I hope you got answered few of your questions. If you have any other question, please feel free to leave me a comment below, DM me on Instagram or email me on canadiancharisma@yahoo.com. I will try to answer you as soon as possible. I will be back with more informative videos. Till then, stay positive, stay safe. Thanks for watching this video.